So hello everybody and welcome to your Magic Month of July. Your Magic Month is a live webinar show where we discuss the month ahead from an energetic, astrological, life coaching, spiritual perspective. It's the equivalent of a spiritual forecast each month, and so we would every month is different. It is run by me. I'm Katie Starlight, and Karen Caldwell, who is an amazing life coach. Karen's having some technical difficulties. This is what happens with live, so we're just waiting for her to come on, but it would be great to know if anybody else is having technical difficulties. So if you could please say hello, use the chat box to let us know that you're listening live and that you can hear me and that you're doing okay. That would be great. So it's a very, very important show today because we've obviously had a very, very big month just gone, which was the month of June 2016. As we discussed on the show, it was all about the solstice last month, and it was a very, very important solstice, and we'll be going into that. Still waiting for Karen. Hopefully she will be here soon, but if anybody wants to say hello, you can use the chat box, and you should be able to just say if anyone coming through. Somebody said, okay, great. So people can hear me. I think we will begin, and hopefully Karen will come on very, very soon because she's doing some wonderful stuff on, she's doing some wonderful work on overwhelm, which is so fitting because we've had big political overwhelm over the last few days and since the vote. So let's just see. All good here? Great. So people can hear. That's great. Okay, well, what we're going to do, since you can hear, while we are waiting for Karen, I am going to do the opening meditation and just sync everybody up. If you are listening to this as a replay, it's really, really good to commit to the meditation because we tune these webinars in so that they are in alignment with, we tune them in so that they help everybody now and also help everybody that listens in the future. And so unless you are driving or operating dangerous machinery or anything like that, or cooking, it is really good if you just give yourself some space for the meditation sections of your Magic Month. Make yourself comfortable and close your eyes. Hopefully Karen will be on by the time we get back. So closing your eyes. And just feeling the muscles around your eyes relaxing. As you breathe in love and breathe out gratitude. Breathe in love and breathe out gratitude. Breathe in love and breathe out gratitude. Coming into the moment. Coming into right here, right now. And my guides are saying to me that this meditation is an integration of all of the big energies of June. So just invite all of yourself to be here now. It doesn't matter what you feel about what has politically or financially happened in June. Let all of those feelings come, whether they're excitement or fear or sadness or happiness. Maybe it's a mix of feelings. Just let all of these feelings be here. Just giving yourself a moment to be present with the change and with the potential for change that has happened. and opening your heart to the great central sun, to the center of the Milky Way, opening your heart upwards and feeling the light of this great central sun pouring down into your energy field, pouring down into your heart center and pouring into all of these emotions, whether they feel nice or uncomfortable, just allowing all of you to be soaked in this light. Feel that light pouring through you, down through the layers of the earth, down into the iron core crystal in the center of the earth, so that Gaia gets a soaking of source light, so that Mother Earth gets a soaking of source light. And feel that light bouncing up from the core of the earth, up, back into your heart, and bouncing out of your heart to every single person that is listening live tonight. Feel that bounce of light bouncing to every single person that is going to listen to this in the future. Feel that light that runs through you into the center of the earth and bounces back into your heart, bouncing from your heart out to everyone you love, and bouncing to everyone that is feeling the same as you or similar to you about the changes that have happened politically and economically over the last few days since the 23rd of June, since the 20th of June. And just feeling that light bounce from the center of the earth up into your heart and to everyone who feels differently from you about it. Just let that light soak into all of the collective feelings, soak into all of the collective energy. Just notice if anything shifts, if anything moves. And feel the light bouncing off those people that feel differently from you, bouncing towards the people that feel the same as you, and bouncing back into your heart. And just allow it to all integrate, letting go of having to think about it, letting go of having to worry or push, instead just integrating with what is, giving everything you like and don't like to source. And breathing in love and breathing out gratitude. Breathing in love and breathing out gratitude. Breathing in love and breathing out gratitude. And when you are ready, just opening your eyes, noticing how you feel. allowing June to disappear into the past, and opening your heart to the present, which is July. So, how is everyone doing? It would be great if you could type in the chat box and let me know how that meditation was. I really enjoyed the sensation of the bounce in that meditation and this kind of leaping into a new dimension, a new frequency. Unfortunately, Karen is still not here. I don't know if Keith is listening, but if you are, Keith, maybe Karen could request to speak via you, and then we can hook her in that way. I'm sorry, anybody else that wants to request to speak, unless you have Gmail, we're not going to be able to let you speak in that way. So please type into the chat box if you have Gmail and would like to request to speak. If not, you can send your messages and comments through the chat box. We are getting some comments through, watching live in London. Yay, I'm live in Brighton, Mina. And someone saying that they were very fortunate to be in Stonehenge for the rising of the sun. It was an amazing solstice. It really was very, Karen has, Firefox is blocking Karen. So it's live. Karen, the only thing, if anybody knows about computers more than me, then please write in the chat box and let Karen know how she can listen live, or how she can come onto the show. The only thing I can say is if Firefox is blocking you, then maybe try Google Chrome or something like that. But we'll keep going for now, and fingers crossed she'll be able to come on later, because she's got so many wonderful things to share today. So it was a very special solstice. Thanks, Karen, for keeping me updated. But yeah, thank you. She's just going around in circles at the moment. Technical difficulties do happen with live shows. Like I said, try going through Google Chrome or Safari rather than Firefox, is my very limited suggestion on what to do about computer problems. If anybody else knows, please do type in. So it was a very special solstice. We talked about it in the Your Magic Month of June's show. What we didn't talk about in that show was that part of the reason it was so special was because it also landed the 20th, which was the longest day of the year in the Northern Hemisphere, the summer solstice in the Northern Hemisphere, winter solstice in the Southern Hemisphere, shared the same day as the full moon, which is very rare. Hasn't happened for decades. Good, Karen's trying to come through Internet Explorer. And the moon, you know, the full moon always represents completion. And so this solstice was a real build up to a kind of collective completion. And we really experienced that afterwards. The other thing I would like to say, which really helped me in the week of the solstice, was the moon was illuminating in what is known in Vedic astrology as the Mula star, which is actually a collection of stars that are known as the root star. And these stars are in the tail of the star sign of Scorpio, and these stars are overlighted by a goddess that represents chaos. And so the moon and the sun on the summer solstice illuminated a star that represents the root chakra, the root of kind of life and chaos over the planet. And Muller really did bring in an awful lot of chaos for those of you that are in England, you will know that on the not long after that solstice, on the 23rd of June, the UK voted out of the European Union, and on the 24th there was just this huge sensation of chaos. My Facebook page was going nuts. You know, people were really shocked, some people were really upset, some people were really scared, some people were really happy. There was this real sense of panic. Obviously the pound has dropped a lot, and I don't really want to go into the depths of the politics about it, but what I do want to share with you is that it is in alignment with the stars. It's in alignment with the kind of universal plan. I believe very much we are pulled by the kind of magnetic tides of the stars, and for that chaos energy to come in and then that to happen made me feel better about something that personally scared me, because it was such a big change, and to me felt like a change that I wasn't necessarily 100% sure about if it was good or not. But the fact that I know it's in alignment with the stars makes me feel better. So it's part of the plan, and the plan was always that the old way was going to, and the new way, you know, the old has to be broken down in order for the new to come in. And I really feel quite strongly that this time of chaos that it feels like we're in is actually the breaking down of an old system that is no longer serving us. And it's also an awakening oneness consciousness, because a lot of people are now talking about being a universal citizen, a global citizen. There is this movement towards oneness that kind of goes beyond politics, beyond media, beyond borders and boundaries. And it's also a real time for us to come into, sorry, there's KK's cutting and pasting a link, so I'm just trying to keep an eye on Karen and how she's doing. And so yeah, it's a real time of actually the light workers of the world walking like they talk, because now more than ever we have to come into our light and anchor this sense of light and peace and abundance, and go beyond the media frenzy and the Facebook frenzy and the Twitter frenzy, and just anchor what we want and what we believe the collective one heart wants. So it really is a very exciting and special time, even though it doesn't feel like it for a lot of people. The other thing that I find really interesting about that time and about this time that we're in is that it's brought up this huge amount of consciousness, this huge amount of collective consciousness, from poverty consciousness because we're scared that we'll lose our abundance because the pound has dropped, and indeed some of the other currencies in the world have fluctuated because of it, to the fact that it's bringing up you know, racism and fascism and political manipulation and media manipulation. It's bringing up our consciousness around it. So anytime you're having a strong reaction, especially one that feels uncomfortable, rather than going into panic, notice what belief systems are there. Notice what consciousness that you personally have tied into this collective situation. Notice what is there, and clear it, and get to the bottom of it, dissolve it, release it, come back into your power, come back into the vibration that you actually want to be held in. I was very, very fortunate to be in Iceland on the throughout the solstice actually, and on the 23rd and 24th. And you know, my Facebook on my phone was going crazy. People were shocked, and people were angry, and then other people were happy, and people were attacking each other, and it was really kind of intense. And yet I was on this amazing tour where I was seeing the most powerful waterfalls in Europe and walking across a glacier. And I really realized in that moment that all of this flapping that man was doing, hooray, Karen is here. I will let her say hello. All of this flapping that man was doing was irrelevant to the kind of flow of Gaia, to the power of Gaia. And I realized for me that I no longer wanted to be part of the flapping of men and women panicking and hating and bickering. I wanted to be part of this big earthly rhythm of the glacier, of the waterfall, of the sun, of the sky. And those were the laws I wanted to belong to and align myself with. And I think if you're feeling really, really panicked, the best advice I can give you is get outside. Get outside. You will get grounded. You will get clarity. You will get what you need. Please do put in all of your questions. I'm going to pass over to Karen. Say hello. I think your mic is on, Karen.
Hello. Now something's happened just now when you pressed the button. There was an error while loading. Oh God.
You're there.
Am I still here?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear? You can hear me. You can
see you and see you. Yeah.
Okay. I cannot see the side panel, so I can't see any chat. I don't know why that is. Very strange, but everything has changed. And I wish these people who did computers would stop messing with things. This is obviously Firefox, so I managed to get in through something else. But anyway. Hello, everybody, and I'm so glad I'm here. And I'm so upset that I didn't hear the first bit that Katie had to share, because I know that was really, really interesting. So I'm going to have to go to the replay and listen to that. That sounds really good. So are we going to talk about overwhelm already? Where are you at, Katie?
We are just discussing the kind of chaos and the Muller star and what's happened with the EU vote and things like that. I don't know if you have anything to add to it. I was just saying that I had my personal journey of kind of realizing that I just didn't want to be part of this human flapping, that I wanted to be part of the earth instead, and the laws of the earth. And it was kind of a big breakthrough moment for me.
Yeah, that sounds really interesting. So yes, there has been so much flapping going on. And okay, there are two things. If you're awake, if you're on your path, if you believe in a bright future for this planet and for all the creatures on this planet, I think you will be excited, because we've known for a long time that there is going to be a big crashing down of structures, of systems, of organizations, of all the hierarchies that have been built up over the past 2,000 years, really. We knew that it was coming, and I always thought it's going to be really quick, and this could be the beginning of the domino. It could only just be the first bit. But the thing that I would say is, don't go into fear. Don't go into panic. Don't go into worry. Don't go into, oh my God, what's going to happen? Go into, and this is what all of Law of Attraction is about. This is what I work with people in coaching about. This is what Katie and I do all the time, is work on your vision. Don't go in, don't follow the sheep. Don't follow them, the lemmings jumping over the cliff, but rather hold the vision. So when you are unclear, when you are fearful, as Katie said, connect with the earth. Connect with something that feels good, and step away from the media, step away from television, step away from the newspapers, and hold the vision that you want for the future. And just stay with your immediate influence. You can do much more towards the positive outcome of all of this if you stay in a high vibration. And that means holding the vision and living it, being the change that you want to be. Just act like that and be like that. And that's the only task that we have now, really. Katie.
Yeah, I had a beautiful message about chaos and how action without wisdom is what creates chaos. And so if you're not sure what to do, or if you're worried about kind of your abundance, which I think is what a lot of people are worried about at the moment, just wait until the wisdom comes. You know, this is really where we get to apply all of those tools that we have been studying over the last 4 years and before that about ascension. It's now time to, like Karen said, to live it, to be it, and to see beyond the kind of smoke that is happening. Because the biggest thing I will say is that the powers that be, the best thing that can happen for them is if everybody divides and blames each other and panics. You know, the powers that don't necessarily have our best interest at heart, it is better for them if everybody's hating on each other and panicking. And the way the change and the ascension change will happen is when everybody's calm and working together and forgiving and loving and growing and expanding and allowing.
Yes, and it's really important not to go into fear. Really, really important. Katie just talked about abundance and talked about money. Abundance, of course, isn't money. Money isn't abundance. The two can be together, but they don't have to be, because there's a lot more abundance. There's an abundance of air. There's an abundance of sunlight. So, you know, we have a lot of abundance. But, you know, it's quite likely that structures like the banks will fall, that currency will suddenly slide, that money will disappear. So be prepared for a lot more upheaval, and then rejoice and know that this is going somewhere good. So if you're already starting to go into the fear mode now, then that will get worse. So go into the, okay, so one of the things to do, and I'm not going to go into the overwhelm, well, this is part of the things you can do whenever you're going to overwhelm, is ask yourself the question, what can I directly influence at this point? So you're not going to be able to influence world affairs directly. You're not going to be able to change the course of the pound. You're not going to be able to change the way that maybe politicians are fumbling. You know, you'd like them to have some clear idea, but they don't. So ask yourself the question, do I have a control over this thing that I'm concerned about? Do I have any influence, direct influence? If you do not have direct influence, step away from it. If it's really something that challenges you, something that brings up a lot of worry or fear, step away from it. Step away from it and do exactly what Katie says. Go out, hug a tree. Sounds silly, right? Oh, doesn't that sound so hippie? But it works, because what you do is you're adding your energy into the general chaos by going into fear, by going into worry. So when you move away from that, and when it gets really bad, this is going to be more important than ever, then rejoice and know that things are changing, and things are changing for the better, as we have said for a long time, and as people have predicted for decades. This is the new era. This is the beginning of the new era. So rejoice in it and just do the things that you can influence. You can influence your state of vibration. You can influence how you feel. And know, if you feel good, be selfish. Because if you feel good, and we were talking about that last session, if you remember, and we have great news about Rachel, who very kindly coached with me. If you stay in a high vibration, you add to the positive outcome, and you need to do whatever it is that you need to do to get into that high vibration. So if that goes out and smell the roses, or if that means that you have to go and hug a tree, or if that means that you go out and have an ice cream, it doesn't really matter what it is. Do that and know that you are adding a lot of positive energy for the overall positive outcome. Would you not agree with that, Katie?
Definitely. And like, abundance has nothing to do with what the pound is doing. Abundance is a law that belongs to Gaia, that belongs before man. Before there was pounds, there was abundance. And in fact, the only reason the pound falling affects people's abundance is because they go into fear, because they allow it to affect them. They allow it to make them think that their business is going to collapse, and then their business does collapse because they are master manifestors. And so just don't allow it. You know, don't allow the media frenzy or the people frenzy. And that's not to say that if you feel called to take action and protest, or you should do that. We're not saying don't follow your heart. We're saying that if you're coming from a place of fear, don't do anything. If you're coming from a place of love and passion and guidance, then do something. But it's got to come from your power. Yes. From your love, from your heart. And I think that is the biggest difference.
Yes, I would agree with that 100%. 100%. So if you go out there and start demonstrating and ranting and raving and you're doing that because your heart is pounding in fear, then that's definitely not going to be the way forward, because then what happens is that you then push power against power. And whenever you push against something, the only thing that can happen is that it pushes back at you. So that's the same thing in any argument with you know, somebody. You're arguing with somebody, the more you argue with them, the more you push against them, the more they'll push back at you. And the only way to do that is to then step back and just let it be. So when you come from a point of, it's time to change, and this is what I'm walking, I'm walking my talk, and this is what I want to change. And if it means that you're going to walk with a placard, then yes, that's the way forward. If it means that you're going to, I don't know, go out and start meditation groups, do that. Because we know that wherever there are meditation groups, crime goes down, people are happier, people are more joyful, things just generally seem to work out much better. Do something like that. That's the way forward, rather than fighting.
And if you do fight with the fuel of love as opposed to the fuel of fear, and then, you know, I believe in the protest action that's happening as part of it. It's not that we're against action; it's that we're against flapping.
Fearful flapping.
No more flapping. So it is actually really good that Karen instinctually decided to look at overwhelm, because I think what's happened since this chaos star brought in this chaos energy is there's been this sense of overwhelm. Wouldn't you agree, Karen? By all means, anybody that has anything to say, to add, do throw it into the chat box. Go on, Karen.
Yes, do please tell us your experience, tell us your questions, tell us give us your comments and whatever. As I said, I can't see them at the moment, but I think Katie probably can, so that's really good. So I've already hinted at how to deal with overwhelm. So we get overwhelmed for a whole different number of things. One of the things, and I've experienced that recently myself, so this is so good for me, you teach what you need to learn, is going into overwhelm, and that is having long lists of to-do lists, and the lists just go on endlessly. So I think that actually this little process that I do with clients when they're in overwhelm, and one of my clients said this is the first time in her life that she's ever found a coping mechanism. So it is very powerful, albeit simple. I find that this process is probably going to be really useful as well in this current climate. So you can probably use the process in a number of different ways. The way I normally use it is you take a piece of paper, A4 paper, put it landscape, and put a line down the middle. So I think Katie's probably going to go along, and I'm going to ask everybody else. I did write in the email to please have a pen and paper ready. If you don't, maybe grab one. particularly if you are in overwhelm. And so what I'd like you to do is to, on the left-hand side of your piece of paper, start writing down all the things that you need to do, or all the things that currently you are in overwhelm about. So it could be the current situation, or it could be a long to-do list, which is what often I work with people. So write down everything that you can think of on the left-hand side. And I should really have some music for people to be writing. So shall I go humming? Ha ha ha. If I could do a little sing-song here. So get writing. Just write. Write at least 3 or 4 things. If you can write really fast and you have a long list, then you could write a lot more. And for most people doing this on a daily basis, I can't say that I do it on a daily basis. The more often that you can do it, the better it is. Maybe at night before you go to bed, that's quite a good time to do it. Just write down the things that you are in overwhelm about, or the things that you feel that you must do. And as and when you have, say, 3, 4, 5, 6 things, and I'm going to have to use Katie as my guide here. So when you have a number of things that you feel you can work with, let me know. You're ready for that?
Yeah.
I hope everybody else out there is as well. And if it's all too fast for you, obviously come back and go into the replay. And this is really just, this is more an exercise. So it's not something that you're necessarily going to get the biggest results from right away, depending on how much you can go into it. So on the left-hand side, you now have a whole long list of things to do.
Yes.
Right. So firstly, maybe even before you start the list, come to yourself, come to your center. That means take a breath. And there are a number of ways you can do that. Close your eyes, take a breath in, and just follow how your breath moves down your nose and into your lungs, fills your lungs. Hold it for a second or two, just as long as it's comfortable. 2, 3, 4, 5, no matter how long you like. Breathe out through your nose. And as you finished your out breath and you think you've finished it completely, breathe out the rest through your mouth, blowing it out. And then gently start breathing in again. So you can do this breath a few times. And I was sure that this is as good as, what is that thing called? Diazepam or something. One of my clients said, oh my God, that just did exactly the same thing as the drug. So I will show you another breath in a minute. The reason it is important to breathe is because, as Einstein said, you cannot solve a problem from the same mindset as you can't solve the problem from the same mindset as it created the problem. So you need to get somewhere else. How do you get somewhere else? It's through breath. Because when you're in stress, cortisol is high, you're in fight or flight or freeze, which is the survival mechanism, which is the really ancient brain, which is not the brain that gives you any bright solutions, but it's just like really crude. So you're going to just work from that base. And if you can find a better way, that means if you're breathing first, then you'll find that you've already relaxed and you've already got the ability to then access your higher brain, your neurocortex, your solution-focused brain. So you're going to the neurofrontal. I mean, there's lots of things you can do. I'm not going to go too far here. So you've got your list. You've breathed. You're centered. There's one more breath that I will just show you, which is a breath that you could do twice a day, the cycle of this breath, rather. And that does so many other things, including healing. that I recommend that you do this twice a day, maybe morning and night, just before you brush your teeth or just after, or make it a habit somewhere, or just before your meditation, whenever you do it. And that goes as follows. Breathe in to a count of 4. So you breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for a count of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out to a count of 8. Through your mouth, really hard, blow out. We do this cycle 4 times. So you've done 1. So once again, breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Really fill your lungs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And come back and let me know how you feel. How do you feel, Katie?
Really good, thank you. It's really just, the word I want to use is gentling. Like everything becomes more gentle and soft.
Yeah.
And I feel like softness is kind of the medicine for stress often.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So it's a breath that gets stronger and more powerful the more often you do it. So if you can do it at least twice a day for a month, and then after the month is over, you can go up to 8 cycles a day. So it takes like 30 seconds or something like that to do one cycle, right? To do it 4 times. So really try and do that. Back to the list. Have a look at your list. And on your list, I want you to go point by point and look at the points that you have and ask yourself the question, am I the only person who can do this? Do I have to do this today? And is it a matter almost of life and death? Do I have to do it today? So I suppose if somebody has to have an important injection that's life-saving, that would probably be something that you'd have to do today, right? So let's be really graphic here. That something dramatic would happen if you didn't do it. Circle or underline whatever it is that only you can do. So the washing and ironing might be something you have to do, but somebody else could theoretically do it. The shopping, somebody else could theoretically do it, or you could have somebody deliver it. But if you have no food in the house and you're really hungry now and you're about to starve, then maybe you're the one who has to go and get the food, right? So look at it like that. Taking the kids to school, that would be something. Picking the kids up, probably even more importantly, that would be something that is important. And you may be the only person who can do it, maybe. So just circle. So out of how many points did you have, Katie? How many things did you get?
I probably have more things to do, but because of the time restraints, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things.
Okay, and how many things did you circle as in things that you have to do? You might want to think of it as of tomorrow, because obviously today is almost finished. So you might say that's what I have to do tomorrow.
I have nothing that I have to do tomorrow.
Well, how does that feel? Just knowing that. I mean, I don't know how it works, but I do know that I am sometimes so overwhelmed with stuff that I have to do. And then I do the list and I think, and you know what? Suddenly I can breathe. Suddenly it's kind of like, and I think, oh, actually, sit down and have a cup of coffee. I've done that. You know, it's really magical. So if there isn't anything that you circle right now that you have to do, then let's imagine that you had one or two things on that list.
I did circle one that only I can do. So
okay, so let's keep that.
There was nothing that I have to do today, but there was one, and actually nearly everything somebody else could, in theory, do.
Okay.
And there's one that I have to do.
So could you then write everything, and you might want to do it in short form, everything that you don't have to do yourself and doesn't have to be done right now or today or stroke tomorrow, and move that to the right-hand side?
I think I'm going to leave 2 on the left-hand side, because there's probably one other that I didn't circle it because it doesn't have to be done today, but I do have to do it myself probably this weekend. So I'll leave that.
Okay. So that would almost classify.
Yeah. Yeah.
So all the things that you've transferred to the right-hand side, cross off the left-hand side.
Okay.
So you've now whittled it down to 2 things.
Yes.
And happily, you don't even have to do those 2 things today. In your case. So they will have to be done tomorrow or possibly Sunday.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit of a, you know, but great. And now I would like you to write on the top, as you're heading, on the left-hand side, things that I must do.
Things that I must do.
On the right-hand side, things I would like the universe to take care of.
I would like the universe to take care of. Yeah.
Now, it sounds like such a simple, almost silly thing to say. The universe is not going to come and do my laundry, right? But what happens is that, A, it takes you out of overwhelm. Once you're out of overwhelm and back into calm, suddenly, okay, I'm going to give you a slightly different example. I'm usually in a rush, especially when I'm going out. I don't know how, but I am. When I rush, I fall over things, I drop things, I can't find things, I try and fold things up and it just doesn't work. So when I take a breath and I just do it just a tiny little bit more slowly, it just seems to work more easily. So when you've come out of overwhelm and you've come out of stress, new ideas present themselves, new solutions present themselves, and the universe can help you to find better ways, to find new ways, to find ways that you hadn't even thought of. Because you've now come away from stress, you've relaxed, you let it go, and you've realized, maybe for the first time in a long time, and as I say, one of my clients just went, oh my God, it just changed her life. It really did change her life. She has 2 small children. In the meantime, she has 3. And she really said that, I can't go every day. And when she had this, she said, my God, I can sit down and have a cup of coffee now. So she did this list every day. And whilst doing the list, she enjoyed a cup of coffee and just a relaxing period anyway. And everything seemed to change. Things became easier. The hassle with the children became much less. It was just much more enjoyable. And so call it magic. I don't really care. The first time I heard about this process, I said, yeah, right. You know, I mean, the universe is going to come and take care of stuff. But it just works. So allow the magic to happen.
I think the universe does take care of stuff a lot. I have lots of stories where the universe has taken care of things that I have thought were impossible. And somehow the universe has put it out of the bag in a way that I never would have imagined it to. But if you don't, if you don't delegate to the universe, it won't help you, because it respects the fact you want to do it by yourself, you know?
It respects free will. But there's also other things, like, for example, when you really get nicely into the flow. So quite often what happens to me is that I think, oh, I've got to phone so-and-so and chase them about X, Y, Z. I've got to send an email to so-and-so and find out what's happening. And then I find that there's a letter there saying, oh, this and that, it's will be arriving this afternoon or tomorrow, or whatever. The email would be there saying, oh, by the way, I've checked this out and here it is. And you know, all the work that I thought I would have to do has been done. The stuff is just coming to me. It's really fantastic. So can somebody give me some feedback and tell me if you've done the process, and if you have done the process already? Maybe it's, if you haven't done it at the moment, because you're probably listening whilst you're making dinner or something, please do the process later, especially if you feel that overwhelm is an issue. And then write back and let me know how that works out for you. It's really helpful to hear, and find out other ways of using it. You know, like I said, for the moment, I was hinting at that earlier, with the current crisis, if you find yourself going into fear or worry or concern or doubt or whatever it is, you could do this little list and write down all the things that you're concerned about, all the things that you're worried about, all the things that make you fearful. Write them on your left-hand side, and then circle the things that you can directly influence, like I said earlier, that you can do something about. This works, by the way, really well for work. So people get really upset about their boss and the way the company's run and the way the company does things, and they really use their energy out for stuff like that. And I've done it. I've been there, believe me, big time. So if you do a list like that and then circle what you could actually change in the company, what you can actually do yourself, what you have control over. So, for example, your company's export policy may not be within your control. Your company's manufacturing might not be in your control. Your company's way of, I don't know, remunerating their employees may not be in control. So getting upset about that is really no point. So circle the things that are within your control, that you have influence over and that you can do something, and move everything else to the right-hand side and say to the universe, this is what I don't like. Could you just take care of it? Could something happen on this side? And I'm just going to pass it along now because this is not something that I can do. And then it's out of your sphere. Then you can let it go. Then you don't have to worry about it, and you don't have to make it your responsibility, because actually you cannot take responsibility of something or for something that you have no control over. That's insanity. Okay. Over to you, Kate. You've got lots to say, I can tell.
I quite agree. I think it's such a brilliant thing to do, especially if you're worried about the big world issues. And that is not to say you can't do things that you can do. It's that there is no point in wasting your energy on the things that the universe is going to do anyway, that man is going to do anyway. And you know, I love Doreen Virtue. She talks in one of her books about how there's loads of unemployed angels in the job office. They're just giving up, waiting. She's like, give an angel a job. Like, give an angel work.
Yeah, and there's so many, you know. You can get a whole, there's another woman called Jean Slatter. She's actually calling them my angel. Well, she's got an angel for everything. She's got a whole group of angels for everything. I mean, she's just sort of like angels that take care of the fact that I would get the best wine in the store, or angels that, I mean, just use them. And why not? You know, that's what they're waiting for. The other thing is, remember, the ask and it is given. If you don't ask the universe to give, it will not give, because it's not their job. They're not allowed to do that, right? But if you ask, it has to be given, provided you are ready to receive. So that's your job, to be ready for. That's all going into universal laws now. I'm not going to go into that, but that's for another time. So look forward to that. Over to you, Katie. I think I'm going to have to make it a close here, because otherwise we're going to go way over time.
Well, Catherine has just said overwhelm is something I often go into, and not being in that space now, I didn't want to think about things to do, but I've noticed the process down and will use it. That's great. You should use a process when it feels right for you to use it. The best time to use it is when you're in overwhelm. And so I think that's really, really great that you're going to use it next time. And yeah, the only other thing I'd say is that by giving things to the universe, you also strengthen your faith. Because the universe, I promise you this, because I have experienced it for myself so many times, the universe in the most fun and joyful way will bring you the things that you have asked for, even when you don't believe it can. And that strengthens your faith in the divine plan, which makes you be able to stay calmer when it feels like everything is collapsing and going wrong. And faith is something, and I don't mean faith in the Christian sense or the Muslim sense. I mean faith in love, faith in that this is more than just a happy accident type faith. that faith helps you live a higher quality of life, and that faith can only come from having the experience of it. What were you going to say, Karen?
Einstein said you have to make a decision whether you believe that the universe is friendly. That's the biggest decision you ever have to make. And if you do believe that the universe is friendly and it always has your back, that's your faith. That's your faith.
Thank you very much. Anybody else, please do type in. Karen, do you have a prize winner?
Oh, yes. Oh, how exciting. God, I almost thought I couldn't do that, huh? With all that computer stuff. Yes, we have a winner for last month's, my God, that seems like such a long time ago. Last month's competition for one coaching session with me. And that is Simona Rudo-Katie. I apologize for not knowing how to pronounce your surname, but you will get an email from me and confirming that you're the winner. So Simona, you are the winner. Congratulations. And we will be making a date soon and have some coaching together. I'm really looking forward to that. So congratulations.
Amazing. Thank you. That's very exciting. Well done, Simona. We're not having a competition this time, guys, because we decided that with everything that had politically and financially happened since we last saw you, that it would be better to give some time, some airtime to it. And so we have spent quite a long time talking about what happened in June, but it is July. June is over, you know, and whatever June's done is done. You know, we can't change time. We can't change what has happened. We can only move forward. And July is a really interesting month because, and I felt it this morning, like I felt it happen this morning. So June was, as we talked about in the last show, was very masculine. It was very about kind of go get it, solar, masculine energy. And July is all about the feminine. It's about unfolding. I actually feel that this whole solstice and this breakdown was actually the real beginning of the divine feminine awakening that needs to happen, because a lot of the world's problems are caused not by the masculine, but by the overblow of the masculine, by the masculine being out of balance with the feminine. And lots of people have predicted that the divine feminine is going to rise. The Dalai Lama actually said that the revolution would happen with the women in the West. And you know, that's not whether you are male or female, actually. It's about you honoring the divine feminine aspect of yourself and allowing the feminine to become the decision maker for a while, to bring the masculine back into balance. And I feel that really the completion of the full moon on the solstice was the completion of the age of the masculine. And whenever there is a completion, whenever there is a death, there is a birth. And so this is the birth of the feminine. And especially now we've come into July, I felt the feminine. And the way that we're going to do things in July. If you want to be in the flow, do it from a feminine perspective. So do your activism and your campaigning and everything you do from a feminine perspective. Do your consciousness clearing from a feminine perspective, whether you are male or female. And yeah, Catherine's just saying there's the possibility of female leaders in the UK and America. Yes, like it is happening on a physical form level, which is so exciting because everybody was kind of disappointed after 2012 and now 2016 is actually happening, you know. And I think that with the feminine, you can explore into her so deeply, and there are so many aspects of her to explore, and we definitely do not have time to cover even some of them in any great detail. But one of the things I want you to consider for this month is that when the masculine is dealing with consciousness, with getting rid of things, it cord cuts, it clears, it cancels, it deletes. It's a warrior. And as I said before, there is a lot of consciousness that's come up. Anybody that is feeling any panic is facing their own consciousness right now. And rather than clearing, cancelling, and deleting, my guidance is that the feminine doesn't do that. The feminine recycles. The feminine does alchemy. The feminine takes all of that energy and it doesn't move it out of the way. It doesn't push it aside. It doesn't destroy it or kill it. What it does is it takes it and absorbs it and turns it into something else. And so when you're working on your consciousness, don't dismiss it. Don't push it away. Don't attack it. Don't even clear, cancel, and delete it, which is actually a technique that I use this month because it's so overlighted by the feminine. Be an alchemist with whatever comes up. Turn that energy from stress or worry or fear into something else. And how you do that is by holding space, by listening. You know, how we find our way through this chaos is not the masculine way of pushing through. It is the feminine way of waiting for the intuition to wiggle and circle and curl its way through. And so this time, especially in the early part of July, is all about holding space for yourself, asking, listening, waiting, transmuting, coming into pace with Gaia. On top of that, this month we have Mary Magdalene's feast day. Mary Magdalene is obviously from the Christian religion. I see her more as a goddess, but she's also a goddess that represents the parts of the divine feminine that have been repressed. So the sexually empowered, the spiritually empowered, the equal leader, the alchemist, you know, these parts of the divine feminine that have been repressed are represented in Mary Magdalene's story. In fact, the Catholic Church is only just recognizing Mary Magdalene's day as a feast day. So, you know, that's also happening with this divine feminine awakening. And so it's also about exploring, again, whether you are male or female, which part of the divine feminine you are suppressing. If you are going into overwhelm and making loads of lists, which, believe me, I am terrible for doing, you're suppressing the feminine side of yourself that wants to sit and grow, that wants to sit and impregnate with an idea. You're suppressing if you're charging at things, you're suppressing the side of yourself that wants to do alchemy. And so it's just all about, in July, just acknowledging which habits you are in that are maybe too masculine, and bringing in the feminine way of doing things, which is actually just doing something differently. And that is whether you are male or female. It's about listening. It's about holding space for yourself. And it's about allowing yourself to wait, to receive, to see what happens, you know, and to kind of find this calmness and leadership from a spaciousness, from the space that the alchemist or the priestess gives to a problem. And so just slow down, come into the rhythm of the feminine, into the cycle of the feminine. I would say that it's really good to go on a Magdalene journey, whether you are male or female. So on the new moon, hold a ceremony for yourself, and you can do this in any way that you like. Maybe you write a list of the things that you want to do with your life that aren't in fruition yet. Maybe you light a candle and think. Maybe you just allow yourself to do it the feminine way, which is just to like say, okay, I'm opening Magdalene ceremony now. What do I do? And then call the light of Mary Magdalene. And to me, her light always comes as this kind of rose gold energy. Call that light. Don't necessarily listen to me. Call her and see what you feel. See how she comes to you. And then ask the question, what sides of my feminine are in hiding? What sides of my feminine am I suppressing? Ask the question, what do I need to recycle in my belief systems? Ask any questions that instinctually come to you. And let the energy of Mary Magdalene answer these questions. And I would consider doing this every day. It's very kind of short ceremony, but from the new moon, which is the 4th, I would consider doing this every day up until the feast day of Mary Magdalene, which is the 22nd, so that you are really inviting the hidden parts of your feminine out, because July is all about calling forward the aspects of the feminine. And for everyone, they will be different. So for some people, it's the wild woman that needs to come forward. For others, it's the crone or the witch. For other people, it's the mother. For other people, it's the maiden. For other people, it's the Magdalene. For other people, it's the goddess. But, you know, you've got to explore that within yourself. The journey of the woman is one that is not as direct, and so you have to listen, you have to feel, you have to be sensual with yourself as you journey through the early days of this feminine that is rebirthing in all of us. I was listening to an amazing webinar by the Tree Sisters, and one of the things they said is that, you know, everything is born in the dark, and the chaos star has sent us into a time of darkness because nobody actually knows, you know, what's happening with the pound, what's happening with the EU, what's happening with global politics, with Trump. We're in this time of darkness. But what is born is up to us. What is born in this darkness is up to us. And the way you're going to birth it quickly is by connecting to the aspect of yourself that is a master / mistress of birth, the feminine. And so just explore with Mary Magdalene. She's overlighting the collective this whole month. She's bringing out, she's doing alchemy work on the consciousness that's in chaos. She's bringing out the parts of the feminine that are in hiding. that are scared, that have been disempowered. She's calling them out. And I would play with that within yourselves, within your meditation. We will do a little closing thing of her energy so that you can feel her energy now while you're listening live. And then I will let Karen do the closing meditation because she couldn't do her opening one. But do you have anything to say about that, Karen?
No, I love it. It's very fascinating. The one thing we've said this all the way through, actually, is to hold the vision, and to hold the vision of what you want to see happening in the world, how you want the changes. So don't go by what is happening right now, but go to see what you want the outcome to be. That could be long term, that can be short term. So it's a bit like making a mess when you put all the ingredients of the cake in the bowl and you stir everything up and it just looks icky and messy and the kitchen looks terrible, but you have the vision of how the cake is going to turn out. So if you find that holding the vision of your future world, your perfect future world, is too hard because you can't really quite imagine what it will be like, then you can look at where did you ever feel really good. So sometimes we go on holiday and we meet some lovely people, maybe people who live in a different way to the way we live, but they just seem really happy. You see the smile of a beautiful child that seems to be living in poverty, but just seems to be so joyful. Or you're in a beautiful countryside, beautiful. Katie, of course, just been to Iceland, and so she'll be able to think of a lot of beautiful places there. And then go into the feeling. How did that make you feel? How did that feel inside of your body? How uplifted were you? How joyful were you? How expanded was your energy? And just feel that feeling and visualize or sense or send that feeling into the future. So then you don't have to visualize how all the details fit together, because sometimes that takes us off track. So rather than that, go into how you'd like to feel and then send that energy to the future. So that might be another way forward.
And you can, what I was saying about recycling, so if you're, for example, say you're really stressed about the pound and the fact that the pound is at this like low rate because, you know, you're somebody that, I don't know, it relies on people spending lots of pounds on your business. Let's just say that. And you're scared that because they're scared of the pound, that all of your clients are going to go away. Rather than kind of, so you've got this feeling of fear and stress about the pound. That is a huge amount of energy. If you connect to that stress just for a moment, even if you imagine it, that is so much energy. Stress is such a high, it's not a high vibration of energy, but it's a lot of energy it takes to be stressed. Your body is tense, you know, it's a lot of muscular energy on emotional and physical levels. And the feminine way of recycling that energy is to go, okay, I'm going to feel this stress and I'm going to alchemize it now. So I am going to release this stress, release the tension of this stress, and use this energy to fuel the vision that I want, which is loads of customers coming to my business. And so you literally convert the energy of stress, the vibration of stress, into its neutral, sparkly, source, energetic, pure state. And then you've got all of this excess energy that you were using to stress yourself out to energize your manifestation. And if you think about it, that's what trees do. So they drop their leaves, and then their leaves go into the earth, and their leaves become the fuel that their roots then drink up out of the earth. And so it's honoring the kind of feminine cycle of energy within yourself. And it's really, really, really powerful if you use what's stressing you out to actually, if you convert it and use it as a form of energy to then charge your manifestations, to give energy to your manifestations. So I would recommend using everything that's coming up into the vision, you know, just convert it first. Would you agree, Karen?
Yes, absolutely. One of the things that the images that always come to mind to me is a steam engine, where there's all that incredible power and pressure, and yet that pressure is used to propel the machine forward. That's how you move forward, by having that intense pressure. But of course, you could also use it for an explosion. So it's how you use it, how you direct it. And I think that's really perfectly put, the way Katie said.
So just every time you notice yourself upset or stressed, just say it's energy. And then what am I going to use this energy for instead of this thing that I'm not enjoying? You know, I'm going to put it towards something I am enjoying. For those women that are listening now or in the future, I am doing I've been guided to do a lot of women's only work to kind of help the priestesses of this golden age of Gaia really awaken into their power. The women's work that I have been doing has just been so transformational. Like, I don't know what it is, but when a group of women get together, it's like the universe wants it, and people just break open and release and have breakthroughs and realizations, and it's just one of my most favorite aspects of my work at this time. And the mother spirit animals have really called a workshop in July. So these are like the goddesses of the wolves, the goddesses of the panthers, the goddesses of the eagle, all of these kind of shamanic goddesses of the animals have called a wild self workshop, which is to unlock the wild woman, the wild self, through all sorts of beautiful things like cacao and yoni talking and medicine wheels and journeying. And I'm really, really excited about this day, and there is space left, and tomorrow is the end of the early bird. So if you feel called to awaken the wild aspect of yourself, please do click the button I've just put it up and find out more about the workshop and tune into it, see if your womb is calling to be there for this goddess healing. It's in London. I've timed it so that Brighton people can get there very easily without having to get up too early. And I'm having magical experiences with animals because these mother animals are around me. Like, honestly, that wherever the group that I was taking through Iceland were just like, you are an animal whisperer, because animals were just like coming up to me. And like, this sheep walked with us for ages. I've never seen anything like it before. Sheep always run away from humans, and this sheep like wanted to be cuddled and like wanted to walk with us. And the animal mothers, they are so tender and so protective, and they bring so much safety, which is so needed for this work and so needed at this time, that I really, really, really think it's going to be such a beautifully safe and nurturing and loving and powerful workshop. So I hope anybody can make that feels called. It's on the 9th of July. 9 is, of course, the number of the year we're in a 9 year. And it's a very spiritual number. So, and I've pulled a card for everyone today, and it's Mother Earth.
Wow.
You are called upon to help with environmentalism. And I think that's such a massive lesson. We're flapping around about the pound and the euro and the dollar, when really all of our energy should be going towards what is going on with the glaciers, you know, and the ozone layer and things like that, because that is what actually needs our energy and our guardianship and our activism. And Mother Earth is calling us to stop flapping and start listening, and to take up our shields as shield maidens and be guardians and warrioresses, whether we are male or female, of the land. And so I think the message, certainly from me, from this Magic Month thing, is just get the big picture. And I think that's from Karen as well. It's like, don't worry about whether your friends voted in or out. You know?
Oh, yes. Don't fall out over it, for goodness sake. I've known people, 40-year friendships, you know, falling apart just because of this. I mean, please.
Yeah. You know, just the big us. We're people of the world. You know, we've got a big job here. And the universe is going to provide for us because we've got a big job here. You know? So that is the big message. And really, please do type in any questions, anything that you have. Somebody is saying, today I uncharacteristically cried in the doctor's surgery due to being in physical pain for 3 weeks without a correct diagnosis. Maybe my feminine tears helped to reveal the cause of the problem. I think if you need to cry, always let yourself cry. Always let yourself cry. And I'm sorry that you've had physical problems and pains. But know, again, that there is anything, whether it's 3 weeks or a year, is always part of something bigger. And the end of the bigger thing is always good, in my experience. Do you have anything to add to that, Karen?
Yeah, I would say 2 things there. Number one, tears are the pump for emotions. So the heart is the pump for the blood. Tears are the pump for the emotions. And, you know, we can have tears of joy, tears of fear, tears of anger. Tears are often to do with the kidneys as well, which is fear. So there will be a release, and it's a fantastic thing, as Katie said, if you can let it happen. And then look at the body part that is being affected, that is in so much pain. Pain, again, is stuck energy. So you ask yourself, what is in that area? I don't know where it might be. And what is it that might be held there? And what is it that maybe you haven't looked at, or that you've suppressed? Or I know that it's very easy to say that when you're not in pain, and it's really quite difficult to do when you're in pain. So I hope that you'll find somebody who's intuitive and can guide you through that. But keep breathing through it. Keep breathing through it. Sometimes even just breathing through it and just saying, yeah, okay, I'll find a fear, find a feeling, find the emotion that comes up in you, and just keep breathing into it and see. So sometimes it goes from frustration through to sadness, through to anger, through to depression, through to and back up again, and and it keeps moving and keeps moving, and eventually you'll find what the real thing is. You'll get some clarity. It may not happen in one session, but if you keep on doing that, you might eventually get to, with luck, even by yourself, or otherwise, I hope that you'll find somebody who would intuitively guide you through that as well. And it's definitely a growing pain, I dare say.
Mm. Yeah, all pains are growing pains. I like that very much, Karen. So you know what? So much is happening at this time, and every time I read a really good article or a good astrology chart or a lunar scope, I'm posting it on the Magic Month Facebook group. I know Karen's posting things that she finds on the Magic Month Facebook group. If either of us end up doing something extra in the middle of the month, we let you know on the Magic Month Facebook group. So do, if you don't already, like us on Facebook. I'm sure we will be putting up more stuff about Mary Magdalene's feast day, more tips about overwhelm. Karen, you could put up maybe something more about that to-do list. Also, guys, you can ask questions. If you like us on Facebook, you can ask us questions if you're listening to this not live. And so I've put the link up there. Do just click on it, it'll open in another tab, and you can like us on Facebook. Do share to your friends, because we're trying to spread the love and peace and tree hugging and the happiness and the abundance and all those things. I am going to very quickly just give you a very simple way of feeling Mary Magdalene's energy, and then I will hand over to Karen so that she can close. So just closing your eyes and just breathing in love and breathing out gratitude. If you like, you can place your hands on your heart. And just as you place your hands on your heart, allow your heart to just become soft, and feel that softness running down your shoulders, down your arms and legs, feeling your energy body becoming soft. Breathing out into this softness and saying out loud, I call Mary Magdalene to me now. I call Mary Magdalene to me now. I call Mary Magdalene to me now. And knowing that your wish is your command, just feeling her energy. Maybe if you're a visual person, you see her energy. Noticing what colors it is. Maybe you feel her energy, noticing the textures, the vibration of it. Maybe you hear the music of this goddess. But just let yourself feel her. And as this energy comes to you with love, just ask, what do I need to know from you now, Mary Magdalene? You can ask this from your heart. Just letting the answer come to you. While you're being held by this beautiful energy of Mary Magdalene, I'm going to say goodbye. Tell you all that I love you and hand you over to Karen.
Oh, thank you. I want to stay there. That was beautiful. So I will have to do a very different guided visualization than the one I had planned, because we're now at the end of the program. So I hope that you have the opportunity to sit down. I won't make this only a few minutes, but if you can sit down somewhere, put your feet flat on the ground, sit down comfortably, close your eyes, with luck you already have that. Sit up straight. And I'd like you to take you to a place to connect with Gaia, with Mother Earth. Because it is such an important thing to do at this time. It is such an important thing to remind us we are of the earth. We are of the earth. We are part of the earth. Our physical body is nothing but elements from the earth, and it will go back to the earth. And as such, it is essential that we honor the earth for giving us life, And it's essential for giving us life in the physical. We are spiritual beings, but we have a physical experience here, and that is thanks to Mother Earth. So I'd like you to visualize your feet on the ground and take breaths. I will guide you through it. So I would like you to take a breath in. And as you take your breath in, imagine that through your feet you're bringing up the energy of Mother Earth. Imagine it a color that you feel right, a bright green energy, or maybe the energy of the ocean, whatever feels more appropriate to you. Breathe that in. Breathe in, bring the energy up through your legs. Feel your legs, your muscles, your bones all soaking up that bright green energy, or whatever color you have chosen. Hold it in your root chakra just a moment and breathe out again, letting the energy go back into the earth. With your next breath, bring the energy in through your feet. Breathe up. Pull the energy up, 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 up through your legs and into your second chakra, which is just below the belly button for those who don't know. Hold it there for a moment. Sense your whole body down below your feet, up to your root to second chakra. Being full with that wonderful earth energy. Breathe out again, letting everything, tension, concerns, worry, go with it. Breathing in again, up, 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 up through the legs, root chakra, sacral chakra, up to your solar plexus. All of your body up to your solar plexus, being now full, inside, outside, your skin, your bones, your muscles, full of that beautiful Mother Earth energy. Holding it there, breathing it back out again, down your legs, out into the earth to be refreshed for new energy to come up. Breathing in, up, 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 through the chakras, up to your heart now. Holding it in your heart for a moment, really feeling the energy there. And now breathing it out again, down, 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 into the earth. Letting everything go that you no longer wish to have, everything that no longer serves you. Breathing in again through your feet, up, 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 through all the chakras, past the heart chakra into your throat. Holding it there for a moment, clearing your communication, making you truthful to yourself and to other people. And breathing out again, letting it go right the way back down, through the legs, out into the earth. Another deep breath in, up, 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 up your body, through all the chakras, making sure that the whole body is now filled with that color. Up past the throat chakra into your third eye chakra, which is between your eyebrows. Sensing all of that body full of that Mother Earth energy. Revitalizing you, re-energizing you, holding it there and letting it go. Out, 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 out. Every time it takes everything unwanted with it, and as you're breathing in fresh, new, clean energy through your feet, up, 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 all the way, heart, throat, third eye chakra, all the way to the crown. Now holding it there for just a minute. And now this time, breathe it out, letting it go down, 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 and down your arms and out your hands, into the earth through your hands. And another breath in through your feet, all the way up, Holding it for a moment and out through your arms and into the earth. And one more breath. Now you're perfectly connected. Do you see? You're completely part of Mother Earth now. Your energies are completely mingled in and out, up your legs, through your feet, up your legs, through all the chakras, cleansing, energizing, revitalizing, up, 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 up. Holding it in the crown for a moment and then letting it go down your arms, through the hands, into the earth. One perfect circle, one perfect cycle, one perfect, beautiful connection. Come back and do this again. And if you need to, go to the chakras several times to make sure that each chakra is fully energized. Do this often to remind you of who Mother Earth is, what the gift is she gives to you, how much gratitude you feel for her, and just feel the joy of being so connected, of being so much part of this beautiful physical plane. Bless you all. Joy to you all. Until we meet again, much love. Bye-bye.